your hands up. I need to see your.
So I finally saw Wicked. I was dragged kicking and screaming to this movie. A musical based on what was essentially a fanfic about the Wicked Witch of the West. A book that features people in relationship with animals? Absolutely not. I don't care if the songs are banger and it's nearly 3 hours long. Nah, I'm not sitting for that. Oh, and Ariana Grande is in it? Absolutely. God, not yet, Oscar meme. But I'm big enough to admit when I'm wrong. Wicked was an absolute masterpiece.
Is you a good witch or just a bad bitch?
Once upon a time, there was a land named Munchkin, where all the people were ginger and curly-haired, which suggests a worrying level of inbreeding. The Munchkins are celebrating the death of the Wicked Witch when we join them. For this scene, they apparently planted 9 million tulips, but I don't know why they bothered because it still looks like fake-ass CGI somehow. The good witch Glinda comes down in a frickin' bubble dug to spread some propaganda about Elphaba, the aforementioned Wicked Witch that's just popped her clogs. And she seems pretty upset when everyone else is celebrating the death of the supposed bad guy of the piece. Now, I laughed my ass off at this.
It's good to see me, isn't it?
But the drab colours of this film compared to the technicolor delight of the original still had me sat in the cinema wishing we'd gone to see literally any other movie. Glinda has foot pedals to control her flying bubble machine? ? Wait, why is she pressing buttons and using a machine to fly? Does this witch even have any magic? After their quite frankly rude celebration of Elphaba's death, one of the smaller gingers asks Glinda why wickedness happens. Glinda then poses the main question of the film. Are people born wicked, or do they have wickedness thrust upon them? Spoiler alert, this musical is actually about propaganda, conspiracy, and bisexuality. So, Glinda, realising she's the narrator of the film, begins to tell them the story of Elphaba Frop. How she knows the personal details of the mother cheating on the father, I don't know. But in this flashback we see a male actor whose face we do not see, but his singing voice clearly belongs to Jeff Goldblum, meaning the wizard is Elphaba's father. Not only is he her father, but he also doses her mother with a green elixir, which would earn this story a dubious consent warning tag on AO3. The baby is born and is...
like a froggy ferny cabbage, the baby is unnaturally green.
And she also has powerful magic. So naturally, Mr. Frop immediately dismisses the baby and treats her like dirt her whole life, leaving a frickin' bear to raise her. Elphaba also has an adorable little sister who she is very protective of. She tells little Nessa Rose all about the Great Wizard of Oz who will grant your heart's desire. By this point, I was involved. A little green girl, shunned by her family, caring of her little sister despite all this, and bullied for being different. I was seated for this villain origin story.
Is it true you were her friend?
Friend? Yes. Our paths did cross. At school.
Oh, she was looking sad because...
she's a lesbian!
I love this title card paying homage to the original movie style by designer Teddy Blanks, who has also recently worked on Barbie and Severance. Our main flashback starts at Shiz University. Shiz? Really? Okay, sure, let's go with it. Elphaba is only here to drop off Nessa Rose because there's no way her horrible ass father would be paying for her to be educated. And that is when the mainly pastel coloured students of Shiz, who have presumably never met a goth before, are shocked by her green appearance. The Regina George of the school offers to help cure the greenness, and Elphaba absolutely reads her to filth.
Offering to help someone that you don't know with skills that you don't have.
Pow!
I could care less what others think.
Couldn't.
What?
You couldn't care less what other people think. Though, I doubt that.
Dad of the Year makes Elphaba stick around to make sure Nessa Rose gets to her room safely. A member of the school staff pushes Nessa Rose's chair, even though she doesn't want that, and her overprotective green sister accidentally causes a big-ass magical scene. The Dean of Magical Studies, Madam Horrible, sorry, no wait, that's Morrible. If her name was Horrible, she would have to be some sort of bad guy or something. Anyways, Morrible sees Elphaba doing grade A magic and immediately gives her a full scholarship to the school. Whilst trying to suck up to Morrible, Galinda accidentally volunteers to share a room with the newest and greenest student at the school. Morrible tells the students that she made the magic display happen, which is a lovely way to stop everyone thinking that Elphaba is a freak, right? Can't be just to make herself look really powerful or anything. This is about the point in the movie where I realised that Ariana Grande is a comedic genius.
Did you know I demand to be carried everywhere? That is the kind of pop star I am. Hello, I'm Ariana Grande. I must be carried. I just want y'all to know.
Okay, hang on. You got it?
If you see me anywhere, it's because I didn't walk there myself, I promise.
Her timing and delivery is flawless, she's gifted in physical comedy, and she can sing. Elphaba, realising she suddenly has a bright future ahead of her, sings about it because, of course, and this song features the line, "I'd be so happy I could melt." She leaves the school to run in the fields, and we get the first hint that not everything is as perfect as we are led to believe in Oz. There's a big-ass dried-up ocean? What happened there then? The new roommates immediately clash because Galinda is a selfish airhead. Or is she? She works out that Elphaba was the one who did the magic outside. She knows how to work the system to her benefit, and later she's the only one who realises Elphie is upset despite her putting on a front at the dance. We love a queen with layers. Then they sing this absolute bop about hating each other.
What is this feeling so sudden and new?
I felt the moment I laid eyes on you.
That feeling is bisexuality, by the way, gals.
Unadulterated loathing for your face,
Your voice.
your clothing.
Defying Gravity was the only song I was familiar with via cultural osmosis, so I was pleasantly surprised by how good all the music was. Cynthia Erivo has the most amazing voice, and I'm big mad that I missed her when she came at my city on tour with the Sister Act musical. During the song, we get our first look at life for students at Shiz. They all have a very strict uniform code, apart from Elphie and Galinda because they are the main characters. Okay, was anyone going to tell me that A, Peter Dinklage was in this movie, and B, that he can sing? His goat character, Dr. Dillamond, can't say Galinda. He pronouncefies it Glinda, and Galinda is a little bit mean about it.
I don't see what the problem is. You know, every other professor manages to pronounceify my name.
Dr. Dillamond drops some lore about the Great Drought, food scarcity, and that the magical talking animals have been vilified, when some anti-animal graffiti is revealed in his classroom. Later, Elphaba goes to his chambers and overhears Dillamond talking about a campaign of anti-animal behaviour and animals losing the ability to talk. After this, she heads back to school, wandering through the woods when a hot prince and his talking horse nearly kill her. Prince Bridgerton is clearly flirting with her, but my gal Elphaba can spot a fuckboy a mile off and rejects his fine ass. Everyone else in Shiz is very excited about the new famous arrival, who also totally ignores the uniform regulations, especially Galinda, who sees her opportunity to become a real-life princess.
A princess!
Handsome Prince Tight Trousers has never read a book in his life, been kicked out of a bunch of other schools, and is the most dramatic depiction of bisexuality I've seen on screen since Captain Jack Harkness. He immediately suggests they all sneak out to a nightclub and then sings a song about never thinking ever. Like some sort of man who needs a brain. The rotating book storage of his library is hugely impractical, but visually stunning for a dance number, which is handy. Galinda tries to get rid of Bok's affections by telling him to ask out Nessa Rose. Oh yeah, this is Bok, and he's in the movie too, I guess. He continues to pretend like he's interested in Nessa Rose for the rest of the film, playing with her emotions like some sort of heartless man. Thinking that Galinda encouraging Bok to ask her sister out was for purely nice reasons, Elphaba decides to make sure that Galinda gets a place in magic class with Madame Villain she so desperately wants. And just as Elphaba has decided to go out of her way to do something lovely for Galinda, Pinky does yet another mean girl thing to her roommate by gifting her a hat that she considers ugly. At the club, while all the cool kids are dancing, Madame Not So Nice nips in to give Galinda her wand, spilling the tea that she wouldn't be teaching her magic at all if it wasn't for Elphie. She basically says, listen, I think you suck ass, but I need the green gal, so I'm taking your talentless ass on. And then she dips, despite all the kids being out of bounds after dark because girl is not interested in being a teacher at all. My green queen arrives and these bitches are laughing at her fit, which I don't get because she looks amazing. Despite her laughter, she sucks it up and dances. That's why she came here, and that's what she's gonna do, even if she has to do it with tears running down her cheeks. Galinda joins her, learning her dance routine, forcing the others to warm to Elphaba. Now, would Pinky have had this face turn without having just been handed her training wand? I guess we'll never know. But when the other mean girls try to stop her dancing, she doesn't, despite risking her own social standing. After some roommate bonding later, Elphaba reveals her guilt that Nessa Rose's disability is her fault, which it isn't, obviously. Glinda makes sure she knows that it's not her fault and offers to give her a makeover.
You will be.
Which means it's time for Popular, my beloved.
Popular. You're gonna be popular.
I'm not sure there's a scene in this film before the climax, which is obviously quite serious, where Ariana Grande failed to make me laugh.
La, la. We're gonna make you popular.
Dillamond gets taken away by Oz's version of stormtroopers, and we meet a lion who's in need of some courage. The new human history professor explains that if animals are kept in cages from youth, then they never develop the ability to talk. Horrified by this, Elphaba gives a speech about needing to do something and save the lion cub, then accidentally uses her magic and poppy seeds to put everyone in the room to sleep, except for herself and the boy she is absolutely not crushing on. Her passion inspires Prince Twink to unlock his bravery stat, and off they go to set the baby lion free, but not before committing bike theft and doing some heavy amount of flirting, setting up a love triangle between the three leads. Only, is it still a triangle if every member of it fancies each other? I asked Google and it said the name of this shape is something called a polycule. The wizard sends news that he wants to see Elphaba, and she's finally getting her life stream to meet the great and powerful Oz. The train is here and it comes with a man with a mustache.
Elsie, the train is here, and I came with the cutest little man with a mustache. You gotta see him.
Pink and Green have a pre-trip chat where Glinda reveals that Fiyero has been thinking for the first time in his life. He's all about animal rights now. Not wanting to be left out, Glinda announces she's going to change her name to Glinda in honour of Dr. Dillamond. After seeing the lovely message of the guidebook, Elphaba tells Glinda to come with her on this train that only has one door. Seems hugely impractical to me, but the rest of the design is a stunning mix of steampunk and art deco which slaps. When the train arrives, there's a great lighting effect to the tunnel where the rear looks pale and boring, dull. Then there's this sort of gradient fade into the pure brilliant green of the Emerald City. By this point I was so engrossed in the story that when everyone started singing I'd actually forgotten it was a musical.
I've never heard this song. He knows the song too?
Other movie styles must wish they too could explain everything you need to know about a new location with a brief musical montage. Then the OGs arrive for what might be the greatest cameo of all time. They are starring in a stage play explaining the lore of the Emerald City and the the Grimmery. They're trying to one-up each other the whole time during their song, then both have cute moments passing the metaphorical torch to the next generation. Inside the wizard's crib they meet the blue monkeys. My impatient ass of the cinema was asking, why don't they have wings?
I understood that reference.
Then they meet the scary ass ever a whiz there was. But it turns out he's just Jeff Goldblum in a sick ass suit.
A man.
At some point, Mr. Goldblum stopped acting and just turned up on set to be himself, and everyone just let him. This is not a criticism, by the way. I love him in everything he's ever done.
I'm so sorry, may I?
Sure,
Okay,
yes.
no, it's okay.
Wizard has powers confirmed. He shows them his Lego collection, and he's trying to figure out what colour the roads should be.
The yellow relay?
Yes. It just says road to me.
Not gonna lie, if a weird wizard in a suit gave me a custom action figure of myself, I'd do his evil bidding. I wouldn't even care about my models. The great and powerful Oz sings a wee ditty about wanting to be a father to the girl he doesn't realise is his daughter. Or maybe he does, I don't know. I've neither read the book nor seen the play. Madam, clearly a bad guy, arrives at the Wiz Castle and throws more unnecessary shade at Glinda. The magic book reacts to Elphie because she's
Just a bad bitch.
and the wizard tricks her into giving his monkey army wings. Oh, there's the wings! Elphaba realises that she's caused the monkeys extreme pain, and that her hero, the wizard, and her mentor, Madam Evil, are the bad guys hurting all the animals. It's a lot of information to get in the space of a few minutes.
And you've known all along.
They literally call themselves Decepticons. That doesn't set off any red flags?
Then the real kicker sinks in.
You have no real power.
Exactly.
This man has no magic. They try and get her on the dark side, and Glinda, who knows the system, knows what life would be like going against a wizard, tries to convince her too. I really can't be mad at her for this self-preservation. The now flying monkeys are sent after Gelphie. Guys, stop! You're gonna be besties one day, I swear! Whilst the wizard is on his propaganda machine doing his best Elon Musk impression. And after a dramatic escape, it's finally time for the moment Ariana Grande has been waiting for since she was a little girl. Defying gravity. Everyone in my cinema screening knew the words to this. This is a breakup song, I'm sorry, but it is. Madam Darth Vader makes an announcement being hella racist about Elphie's green skin and brands her as wicked.
Something has changed within me. Something is not the same.
I got goosebumps here, and I wasn't even a pre-existing fan.
I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game.
Damn, the theatre kids were right about this one.
Come with me.
Go with her, Glinda! She doesn't go with her, but the gals part on sort of okay terms. Trying to protect Glinda from the stormtroopers, Elphie falls out of a window, and as her life flashes before her eyes, she finally accepts herself for who she is and not what others want her to be. The news breaks to dramatic stares from the main cast, and it appears to cause her dad to drop dead of a heart attack.
It's what she deserves.
Glinda gets everything she's ever wanted. And the violently bisexual man rides off on his talking horse, presumably to find Elphaba. Elphaba reaches her final form and hits this note. That, thankfully, none of the annoying singing through the whole movie people in my screening even attempted. Then there's more great typography to end part 1.
Is you a good witch or just a bad bitch?
This movie was nearly 3 hours long, but it didn't feel like it. I was engrossed pretty much the entire time. I was pleasantly surprised by Wicked. I went in expecting a silly little movie about witches with songs, and instead found this beautiful allegory on fascism, othering, governments lying to their people, and closeted lesbian Wiccans. As I said, I was not a pre-existing fan, hadn't seen the stage play, and I've never cared about Ariana Grande one way or the other, but now, I will be there fighting the theatre kids for the best seats at the first showing of part 2.
Stop the violence.
I don't understand how this is the first I'm seeing of Cynthia Erivo. She is an absolute powerhouse of an actor, who I assume after this will be booked and busy. I always expect and receive excellence from Goldblum and Yeo. Neither were given huge amounts to do here, but they clearly had a blast doing it. Speaking of actors having the time of their lives, Jonathan Bailey ate up every scene he was in with relish. Everyone keeps telling me to get on the Bridgerton bandwagon, and after seeing him in this I might actually have to. Boeing Yang is the funniest thing to come out of Saturday Night Live in a long time, and most of the hilarious lines his character has in Wicked were him ad-libbing. And Ethan Slater was also there. I don't get it. Maybe Bach has loads to do in the second half of the story, or his character just got the short end of the stick in the adaptation, but he seemed mostly unnecessary. I have zero idea where this can even go in the second half. Aside from the obvious, these three are these characters from The Wizard of Oz. And Elphie clearly isn't deathly allergic to water, so I'm guessing she doesn't actually die at Dorothy's hands. And maybe, just maybe, they'll get a happily ever after. Anyways, my score out of 10 is 9 out of 10 should have been gayer. But those are just my thoughts. Feel free to share yours with me in the comments and leave a wee thumbs up if you feel like it. No pressure. Okay, love you, bye!